All right, so these notes are going to be a little different than what I've been doing with the Edpuzzle videos. Your note paper is going to be split up into 3 sections. So let's go ahead and get started with this first section. How are rocks classified? Rocks are classified by how they are formed. So you're going to be filling in your blanks with the words that are in bold. Pause the video if you need to catch up to write. What are the types of rock? So there's 3 types of rocks. There is sedimentary, there's igneous, and there is metamorphic. And again, just like that last page said, we categorize them or classify them based off of how they are formed. So generally, how are rocks formed? So each of these types are formed by physical changes. So there could be melting, it could be cooled, it could be eroded, it could be compacted, it could be deformed. Those are just some examples of how these physical changes can create or form those 3 types of rocks. And all of these physical changes are part of the rock cycle. That'll be part of your 6.1b notes. So the first type of rock, what is sedimentary rock? Sedimentary rocks are formed by the accumulation of sediment. Accumulation just means there's a lot like stacking up or coming together. It's accumulating. If you think about snow, we talk about accumulation of snow. That's when you have layers and layers of snow, like 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. So it's accumulation of sediment. This is an example of sedimentary rock, and you can see those layers. You can see how it accumulated over millions of years. And what are sediments? So sediments are pieces of naturally occurring material. So here's a picture of sediment, and those are pieces of it. So it's kind of like sand or little tiny pieces of dirt. That's sediment. And this sediment is formed by weathering and erosion, and it's transported by wind, water, gravity, air, or ice. So what weathering is any type of weather. Snow, rain, wind, that's weathering. And erosion is when the rain or the wind moves or transports it. And the last part of this section is how is sedimentary rock formed. So pre-existing rock is weathered, creating sediment. So you have the sediment. That sediment is then transported by wind, water, gravity, air, or ice. And then we have sedimentation. Sedimentation is when that sediment is deposited, which also means to be put down in layers. So sedimentation is when the sediment is put down in layers. And then after it has that layers, it gets compacted. A compaction occurs. And that is when layers are packed down. And then lastly, you have cementation. And that is when the layers are bonded or connected together. So you have all those layers that have been compacted and connected together. That's the end of this section of notes. You'll have a couple activities, and then you will continue these notes.